Welcome to Review Rewind, the podcast where a couple with varying backgrounds and tastes watch beloved movies and answer the questions, was it good? I'm Krista.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be discussing
Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was released June 11th, 1993. It was rated PG-13 and still is for intense science fiction terror. It is labeled as an action, mystery and thriller, sci-fi, and adventure. And it is directed by Steven Spielberg. It was written by Michael Crichton, David Cope, and Malia Scotch Marmo.
What names, man?
I do know that Michael Crichton, I don't think I'm saying that right, but he wrote the book.
Oh, yeah.
We
learned that.
Yeah. Well, we didn't. I don't know if we learned that. I just finally watched the.
I do want to come out of the bat saying that part of the classification of sci-fi is wrong because there are no aliens in this. Please see
callback.
Please see episode 2 for Krista's interpretation of sci-fi versus fantasy.
Very nice. It's about a 2 hour and 6 minute runtime, and it made in the U.S. $401.8 million at the box office. So it was, financially speaking, a success.
That just brought up a question. What is financially successful for that time?
I don't know. I'm gonna do some good Foley work, and you're gonna hear my keyboard right now. What is a good box office turnout?
But like in the 90s, because I feel like the 90s would be different from now. We'll come back with that later, but that's just food to ponder. I mean, $400 million in some cheddar cheese does sound like a good amount.
Yeah. Well, more Foley work from the one and only. And you can hear our kid coughing in the background.
And you can shout out to bubbly water. If you are a fan of LaCroix, bubbly water is like 30 cents cheaper. And I just tried the blueberry pomegranate. We now bring you a commercial break.
We are
sponsored. But no, really, while Mike does his Foley work, if you are in need of a drink, I recommend the blueberry pomegranate.
Okay, that's enough. So I looked up a couple numbers that may be helpful. The budget was $63 million, and opening weekend in the U.S. they made $47 million. So they almost recouped their budget within the first week.
Okay, I feel like that's a helpful gauge.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
so we'll have that in the future stuff. But Krista, why don't you tell us the plot? Plot time.
Are we gonna have like
I don't know. We're gonna find some of it.
Okay. In Steven Spielberg's massive blockbuster, paleontologist Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, and Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern, and mathematician Ian Malcolm, played by the wonderful Jeff Goldblum, are among a select group chosen to tour an island theme park populated by dinosaurs created from prehistoric DNA. While the park's mastermind, billionaire John Hammond, Richard Attenborough, assures everyone that the facility is safe, they find out otherwise when various ferocious predators break free and go on the hunt.
Oh, wait, no. That was a very mysterious ending to the plot. Since we debated about it a little bit, how do you feel about that description?
I mean, it's very general.
Yeah.
If I was in charge of writing it, I would probably have written it differently because it doesn't really pull you in very much. But it's not awful, I guess.
Alrighty. So,
What'd you think?
before we get into the big question, what did you think of the story?
I was literally about to say that question to you. I just want you to know.
I know you were moving us along swimmingly, and I messed it up.
Inserted yourself into the conversation. What did I think of the story? I think it was fantastic. I did take like a step back, and I'm like, this is a really creative like storyline. Obviously, you know, at this time, it hadn't. I mean, well, again, maybe it had been done before, but not really. I mean, this is going to show how silly I am. During the movie, I looked over at Mike and paused it, and I was just like, have scientists tried this? Is this possible? So I mean, in that aspect, I was like, wow, like this is really intriguing. So I thought it was a good like story. I thought it was written decently.
Yeah, me too. And I think every time I watch it, I see something different. And maybe it's just as I get older, I start understanding different aspects of the world. Or just I'm better at storytelling and noticing storytelling. Because there were a lot of things that I didn't notice ever before. And then I really got this time around. Like how bad Newman. No, what's his name? I say Newman because he played Newman in Seinfeld. The big guy, the bad guy.
The bad guy.
Extensively. I never realized how
murdered by Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be a shout out to
Wayne Knight. He plays Nedry. Nedry was his name. I never realized how like bad he was. Like he was a pretty big crook.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And like if you break down his plan, it was a bad plan. Like it bad in the sense of like, I don't even want to use this word because I feel like this word is too light, but how mischievous it was. You know what I mean? Like his plan, no matter what, was to reset everything for 20 minutes.
Which no matter what would have
the possibility of something horrible happening was almost guaranteed.
It was almost like in his efforts to secure the embryos, he also was like, I'm just going to destroy or risk destroying the park as well.
Right. And I think that was definitely like kind of the goal.
Probably.
He wanted to destroy
Did they
heaven.
ever say who he was stealing the embryos for?
I think they do in the other ones.
That's what.
So backstory for those to know a little deeper about Krista and me. We really like kid shows. We're really bad about that. We really enjoy kid shows.
Into it.
And like we watched all the Pokemon series that are available on Netflix, and we love Young Justice, even though that's gotten more adult, but it started out as a kid show. And we caught on to
called Camp Cretaceous.
Yeah, we caught on to that on Netflix because of our daughter. But then we got really hooked on it.
We were very, very invested in it.
And that actually kind of sparked our wanting to get into Jurassic Park again. And I actually think they answer a lot of those questions further along, and even in Camp Cretaceous.
Okay.
So I bring that up because I do think
I was just thinking like
it's one of those
at
companies.
The base of that if you just look at that movie as a standalone though, they don't say who they're stealing it for. Just
I'm sure there's
miscellaneous
I'm sure there's an Easter egg within Nedry's like information and stuff. But it's so bad what he's doing because like his plan no matter what. So I never noticed, like it never clicked in me that the storm sped up his timetable And so he was very frantic to get it all done. But regardless of the storm, his plan was that there was a 20-minute, 18-minute window where everything was resetting, where the power was going off, where the cages were going to go off. And he was like, this'll be great. And then I guess, yeah, the plan was still to drive through the Dilophosaurus pen, which...
No, I think he just had to do that because of the storm.
You think it was a shortcut?
I think so. I think he got confused and then ended up into the Dilophosaurus, which you interrupted my shout out earlier. But Dustin and Kristen, if you're listening to this, shout out to Eli, because I know and remembered what a Dilophosaurus was thanks to Eli, because he told me it was his favorite dinosaur. For those of you that are like, what the heck is a Dilophosaurus? Or you don't remember Jurassic Park. It's the dinosaur with the little fringy neck that spits black venom-y stuff at you. I don't know. Anyway, they crack me up now. So,
yeah.
Shout out over.
Yeah. Good shout out. I don't know. Actually, I think his plan, because that he knew where he was going at that point.
Well.
And I think it was leading to
the
boat. But anyway, that was his plan, and that's a bad plan. Like, that's not a good plan.
I bet you he was so ignorant he didn't even, like... Because he strikes me as a type that he just does this for the computer stuff. And he probably doesn't know anything about the dinosaurs.
It almost...
Well, he didn't, because he saw the dinosaur and he was just like, oh, hello, little fella.
It's almost like he didn't have...
didn't respect.
Yeah, I was going to say. He doesn't...
He
thinks they're just like pets.
Yeah.
Rather than... Predators or growing and evolving in intelligence, because they're growing and evolving in intelligence. I never caught why there were only 3 raptors, that the big one that is in the beginning of the movie is the one that killed 6 of them except for 2 and basically is starting a new gang.
Pod.
Yeah, I just missed a lot before, and then catching it now, it made the movie more cohesive, but I think it brought me into the movie. Sometimes you can watch movies and you're like, oh, I noticed stuff, and it just kind of sucked me out or whatever. But this one was, that makes the story better.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think of the acting?
I like the acting. I like aspects of the acting.
Spared no expense.
Jeff Goldblum is
chef's kiss.
A delight. I really appreciated Sam Neill's acting a lot more. He played Dr. Grant, and I was observing more in his awe for the dinosaurs and this weird... there's the scene where the kids are running from the herd that's running from the T-Rex, and the T-Rex catches one of the animals and starts eating it, and Grant is so like absorbed by it. He's so amazed by it, but he's also kind of got like a weird like menacing glance to him, and it's not until he like looks over and sees Lex kind of like freaking out that he's like, okay, we got to move on. And then that's where Timmy's like, so much blood. I liked it. I don't know. I liked it. I think there's other aspects that made the acting seem off that we can talk about later, but I think the acting was good.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I feel like the kids acting, I feel bad. I don't want to judge them because they were kids when they did the film. Lex's acting, I felt like, was the weakest component to me. But also, I mean, she was maybe 12? 11? Yeah, who knows? A young age, so I don't really want to critique her too badly. I really enjoyed I don't remember his name, but the hunter guy who was like,
Muldoon.
We're being hunted.
Muldoon. He's a South African hunter, I think was his backstory, which makes it really funny.
I mean, I feel like for that time period, for the 90s,
Early 90s.
early 90s, it was like the acting was fine. I didn't, which I feel like this says a lot. Well, for you, for knowing me, is I'm really judgy with older movies, and I didn't like start watching this and go, ugh, like bad acting or whatever.
I don't think the acting like pulled me out of it at all.
Yeah. So
I actually really had a better appreciation for Richard Attenborough, who played Hammond.
mm-hmm.
Like he really, I think he carries the dialogue and really carries the plot, and his acting is fantastic. And I think it's that people like Spielberg and Lucas and of that bunch, where they take a film that, not that Sam Neill and Laura Dern weren't in movies before, or even Jeff Goldblum, but they kind of hang the performances on an older actor, like Star Wars and Alec Guinness, and this one had Richard Attenborough, and man, I really felt his emotion more.
Yeah.
And I don't think I did as much before, but I really appreciated his acting. I really liked them all.
Do you feel like it's dated?
Oh, aspects of it.
Again, I think it goes, like, for me, it's the, like certain parts of the dinosaur stuff. You're like, oh yeah, like, CGI or whatever could have made this look so much better in this day and age.
Right.
So you can tell it's dated in that aspect. But again, it didn't, I wasn't looking at being like, oh yeah, this is just all funny animatronic puppeteers or everything. So,
well, I think we talked about it. We talked about that like while we were watching it. Like some of the CGI doesn't work anymore.
And I think it's, maybe because it's a, I guess you could classify as like a beloved series. I mean, for goodness sakes, Universal Studios has, what do they call it? Like, but they have a section of the park named after it. There's a ride and all that stuff. Like, I think because it's such a beloved part of the 90s, it's dated in that of the fact that, like, oh yeah, it's a movie from the 90s, but not dated in a bad way because it's, beloved pop culture.
I think in a lot of ways the CGI was dated. It seemed like everything that was supposed to be in the day didn't translate well. CGI wise, at night the CGI looked great. And the practical effects were insanely good. Like those puppets, those animatronics were really, really good, and they still look really, really good. They didn't look, they mixed the pot a bunch with the real and the CGI that it mixed in well. Speaking of animatronics, I've read once, and you were talking about the kids acting. I read once that scene where the T-Rex goes through the roof of the car. The kids knew the T-Rex was going to hit it. They didn't know the glass was going to break. So that reaction was like 100% real. And I don't know if they didn't tell them on purpose or if they just forgot to say it. But fun fact. Could be wrong too. But the thing that I thought was most dated was the cinematography. There are parts of that movie that look so old just based on how they filmed it. A lot of the like lower shots that are looking up at people, or I forget the technical term from it, but it's like a lower shot, but it's turned at an angle. And it was just one of those things that there are a lot of those shots throughout the movie that to the point where it's like, man, they don't do this that much. And it from the start of the film. So when the raptor is eating trying to eat the
He's like, give me my dinner.
employee, and Muldoon is like holding him, and he's like, shoot her. They go up like super close on his face, and it's like, it's an artistic choice, but like you don't see that anymore. I don't think you see that anymore. And it was just a little jarring because I think artistically and for this movie it works perfectly, but it's a little jarring because it's like it's not a technique that's common anymore.
That's why there's two of us doing this, because I would never have noticed the cinematography as something to comment on. That's just not where my brain goes.
That's okay.
What did you disagree with about the movie?
Oh.
What do you?
What did I disagree with about?
I don't know that I don't. I was going to ask you to clarify this question because I don't know that I feel like I disagree with anything.
I guess the question is there an aspect of the movie that occurred that, it's like it shakes you so much that your suspension of disbelief kind of gets shaken out to the point where you're like, calm down, guys. We could have done this better or something.
I don't think so. And this is not something I disagree with, which maybe I'm already jumping back to the next question. Which I'll just say that our next question is, was it entertaining? Why? When you get to that raptor scene in the kitchen with the kids, I was like clutching my pillow, kind of like, oh gosh, this is very, like I know what happens and I know they're okay, but oh my gosh.
Yeah, it really hit that like terrifying point. Yeah, I don't think that's something you disagree with, but it's something that stands out.
Yeah.
Which I guess we could change that question to, what are parts of the film that stood out to you?
Mm-hmm.
And so for you, that kitchen scene really stood out.
And I think the fact that it's still held.
Yeah. It's still creepy.
Yeah. It's still just like, oh my God.
Like it really hits that aspect of these kids are in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the things that stood out. And we even talked about it when we watched it. They tell aspects of the story through other parts of the story. I don't know. Whoever wants to educate me on the technical term, the technical writing term for this, but I thought it was really clever, which was Laura Dern's character escapes from the raptor, and they're like, is the raptor taking care of whatever? And she's like, I closed the door. So unless they know how to open doors, and then the next shot
is the raptor
was the raptor opening the door in the kitchen, which was they're smart enough to open the door, so then you can assume that the raptor escapes from that room. And it was one of those things that, like, after I heard that, I was like, oh, now I have to pay attention to the raptors and see what happens, because you end the movie with two raptors.
Yeah.
And one of the raptors gets locked in the refrigerator and can't get out. Like, it's not a matter of opening the door. They lock that thing in there. But we still end up with two, so the other one escaped.
Yeah.
How did the other one escape? Well, we know that they can open doors. And that was really... That was a nice little bit of plot development or foreshadowing or writing or
it made me want to watch
scooping. I don't know.
Made me it piqued my interest of watching the next two, like 2 and 3, but it also really made me want to watch the Jurassic World ones again.
To catch up to because we saw the trailer
for, what is it? Shoot, what's it called? Dominion?
Yeah.
Jurassic
it's
Park Dominion?
Because the last one was Evolution.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it?
I think so. I'm stoked for this new movie, though.
Remember, folks at home, Krista likes movies that are bad. The second one was not good. The second Jurassic World.
No, it wasn't. I feel like it was a means to an end. Like, they needed to get to where they are for Jurassic, the third one, because I feel like that one's going to be really good. But they're like, we need to get the dinosaurs off. Oh, I guess spoilers. We need to get the dinosaurs off the island. How is that going to happen?
But the original cast, or at least the adults, well, the 3 adults. I want to keep saying that, but I'm like, I think Hammond has died. in
Yeah.
the story. Hammond
Yeah.
has died. All those other people on the island died from the original one, so we're not going to see them. Samuel L. Jackson died. Spoilers.
I know. I mean, I saw this and I was like, Samuel L. Jackson.
There's always that joke about like Samuel L. Jackson gets like killed in movies, and I was like, that's not true. And then the more I watch his movies, I'm like,
Maybe it's true.
oh wow, there's validity to this. But where were we?
Was it entertaining?
Yeah, very. What was an interesting thing was I was even entertained when they were doing like the sciencey talks about it all. Like that was really entertaining for me, for them to kind of like dive into.
Well, I think it's because obviously this has yet to happen in the real world. So it's interesting to see how in this, alternate reality, too drastic, how in this alternate reality, like they could have done that. It's very
fictional reality.
Yeah. It's very interesting to see that.
Well, and I think too, we watched that Camp Cretaceous and Jurassic World, where in Jurassic World you start to get really suspicious of Dr. Wu.
Mm-hmm.
And then the show takes that to the extreme.
Well, yeah. For anyone who's, honestly, any adult, I recommend watching Camp Cretaceous. Like, yes, it's a little kid show.
Well, it's not a little kid show. It's probably an adolescent show because it is pretty intense.
But it's really entertaining. But essentially, it takes place. The first season starts with
right after Jurassic World.
Well, like kind of during Jurassic World.
Oh yeah.
So it starts during Jurassic World, and then it essentially is Jurassic World. The plot of Jurassic World happens, and then the show runs congruent and runs past it. So there's 4 seasons available now on Netflix.
And it's by Universal, so
Anyway,
but
we're such nerds, man.
But with all that new information of being really suspicious of Dr. Wu, going back and seeing his start, and even seeing how they had him act. I don't know if they did it on purpose or if he chose those acting cues where I forget who said it, whether it was Dr. Grant or Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, where they're asking about the baby raptor.
Oh, yeah.
And they're asking about the DNA. And he responds very like, come on.
Yeah.
This is easy stuff. Or like, of course we're doing this. Or he's very pompous about it. And it's funny to see how that, I think, was the start of so much more story that happens afterwards. But, I don't think it was a bad thing, but there's a lot of science dialogue that happens that's, what's it called? Oh, nuts. Not expulsion. Expulsion's not right.
Expulsion.
Anyway, I'll try to cut that out or we can keep it in. I don't care. Exposition.
There you go.
It's exposition where they're like, hey, there's missing DNA, and they're like, oh, we filled it with.
We'll put a tree frog in.
We'll fill it in with frog, and then later there's eggs, and they're like, how's that possible? They're all female, and Dr. Grant has the exposition of like, well,
which now thinking back to it, I'm like, how would this renowned scientist not know that or think of that as a possibility? Like, how would he not be like, oh, you know what? Who didn't do their homework to be like, oh wait, tree frogs can spontaneously change sex. That's not going to affect the dinosaurs. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't think of, because that's an aspect of the DNA. If they really controlled the DNA as much as they said, they could have removed that aspect. Yeah, but they didn't.
Sketchy business.
Which bears the question. There's also one more plot thing that I want to point out that I don't know if they talk about, and then how maybe they explain it in the other movies, but there's the Samuel L. Jackson brings up the lidocaine, lido. I don't want to say lidocaine, but lidocaine. It's a chemical
Oh,
that
the protein, yeah.
yeah, each dinosaur has this protein in it that they need given to them. And so now that the park is done and all the people there are dead, how are those dinosaurs surviving? Did they suddenly, are they evolving that quickly in the scope of this that they're evolving that they don't need that?
Oh.
Like, are the ones in the eggs?
Shoot, now I'm really curious about 2 and 3 because I don't know. Yeah.
I think we need to watch it because I watched 2, don't remember much other than the T-Rex rampaging through San Diego. And then the third one, I don't remember at all, other than there's like a kid involved or something. There's always a kid involved.
So it's time for the review.
So, yeah, as Krista is alluding to, we're going to start a new segment, which should have been the first thing we did in the other one, or we should have done it last week. But we want to make sure we're kind of true to the title of the podcast. So we are going to do a review rewind.
Review rewind. Do 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 do.
That's pretty good.
I think I riffed it off something else though. Ripped it.
For whatever reason, for this one, it took me a while to find reviews from 1993 and also to see it in the system that we see it now. We have a grading system: stars, thumbs, points, and apparently when they used to review movies, they didn't really give it a score, so I had to kind of search through it. And so on a metric website, wait, I have it right here just so I'm citing it. Metacritic, they had the ones from the 90s. And so what we're going to do is Krista's going to read one of the higher ones and I'm going to read one of the lower ones. And I tried to pick ones that were, I don't know if reputable is the one, but more common. So we have one from Entertainment Weekly and we have one from the Los Angeles Times. And so Chris is going to read the positive review.
All right. The good review. This is by Entertainment Weekly. They gave it a 90 out of 100. This review is written by Owen Gleberman. Sorry, Owen, for mispronouncing your name. I'm pretty sure I did.
I before E, so I think it's Lee.
Gleberman. As a flight of fantasy, Jurassic Park lacks the emotional unity of Spielberg's classics, such as Jaws, Close Encounters, and E.T., yet it has enough of his innocent, playful virtuosity to send you out of the theater grinning with delight.
Now I'm doubting myself. It might be Gleiberman, but
Gleiberman.
Anyway, so we'll talk about that in a second. The second review, the bad review, 50 out of 100 out of the Los Angeles Times by Kenneth Turan. All the imagination and effort, including 18 months of pre-production that went into making the dinosaurs state-of-the-art, exciting, apparently left no time to make the people similarly believable or involving. In fact, when the big guys leave the screen, you'll be tempted to leave the theater with them.
Wah, wah.
So where are you at?
I feel like both of these are harsh reviews. I'm not a critic, but I mean lacks the emotional unity of Spielberg's classics. Again, I haven't seen Jaws. I don't really know what emotional unity happens in Jaws. E.T. I get. I don't know what Close Encounters is either. So I guess Mike just made a face at me. I'm sorry. Sheltered. But I was like, there was emotion in this movie.
I don't know what these, guys, I don't know what these guys were looking for.
Well, yeah. And we just discussed it. Like, was the acting bad? We didn't think the acting was bad.
Yeah.
So.
And when I was going through it, there was one person who said something, along the lines of, mumbling through the dialogue and stuff like that. And it made me wonder, and I'm like, back then, 1993, was the average person disconnected from science to the point where like the dialogue was too much?
Oh.
That it was considered mumbling?
Mm.
Because I don't consider any character in the story mumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it hits points of character.
Mm.
Like Samuel L. Jackson kind of talks through the stuff, and he really he speaks fast, but nothing he said didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty straightforward, and maybe it's because we're so inundated with technology that the technical jargon, it's either like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds like it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But there was never a point where I was like, this dialogue sucks.
Yeah.
There's some corny jokes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I think I would just say both of these are harsh, on the more harsher side of reviews. So
even the one that's like positive.
That's what I was laughing when I read this, because it was like, okay, 90 out of 100, and then I was like, that wasn't really like a positive review. Like he was just like, yeah, it was okay. It didn't suck.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you, if you had to rate it and give it like a blip of a review?
Oh, you can't ask me to do that at the time that we're recording this. I would rate it probably like between, I don't know. I would rate it in the 90s, I think. Like, I think the 90 out of 100, maybe 85 out of 100 if I'm being like super judgy, but it's true. And I guess, sorry, my brain's not going to pull a review out of thin air. But yeah, I would say it gets a A for me.
Yeah. I would give it an A.
Yeah.
Like if we're going to go that realm, probably.
I would rather give it a grade A.
90 to 100, somewhere around there. And my personal creative critiques as far as cinematography goes, I don't think should limit the fact that there are absolutely great shots and just stunning visuals in this movie. And the plot is really interesting. It's really great. It's funny how much Malcolm and his chaos theory really, I think, kind of makes the movie better, because he's just like a walking foreshadow for the whole thing.
Yeah, he's a funny
Like
character.
every time he says something, it's just like, well, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that took away from the movie. I think it made it better, especially because Jeff Goldblum's awesome. Yeah, no, I'd give it a good rating, and I would say it ticks all the marks of being thought-provoking, having a lot of emotion. Alan Grant's character arc of being someone who cares more about bones than of humans. Like, I noticed that more when Jeff Goldblum's asking him about Ellie's singleness or togetherness, and he doesn't outright say anything. He still kind of avoids the conversation. Because you even ask, it's like, are they together?
Are they together?
And even when he answers it, it's still a very distant answer.
Yeah.
It's like, are you two a thing? He's like, yeah. Yeah. Sure. But I think the character development is good. I don't know. I think it's all great.
So I think I would end it by saying, you know what? Pop yourself a bag of popcorn, get some snickety snacks, grab a blanket and just curl up and watch a good nostalgic movie this weekend. Watch Jurassic Park.
I think it's a little too intense for that kind of blanket roll up, but yeah. You just wanted to do this thing.
You messed it up.
I'm sorry. We're going to get a copyright claim, I swear.
Probably.
Alrighty. So, to review, we liked it. And we kind of think that the review people were
a little snooty.
Oh, yeah, a little snarky. And, yeah, we would say go watch it.
I would also, if you made it this far into the listening, I like to test people. go ahead and however you heard about this, like if you saw it on our Instagrams or our Facebook, leave a comment with your favorite dinosaur.
Oh my gosh. We will be building up our social media, so we will be having a Review Rewind Instagram where people could comment and interact with us. But until then, please make sure that you subscribe and you like, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. And I guess subscribe is kind of the thing to do.
Yeah, I'm Krista.
Well, hold on. Before we end, we will end in a moment. What's the next movie we're going to watch?
Oh. Do you want me to say it?
What did I say?
Oh, the next movie we're going to watch is The Princess Bride. Because, welcome back to me. Once again, I've seen the movie in bits and pieces and fragments, but I have not seen it all the way like through in one sitting.
And it's one of those movies that I almost struggle to call it a cult classic because so many people have seen it. It's not just like this really niche group.
Well, and it's bad when I quote things from it and someone's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, for the longest time I didn't even know what movie it was from. I would just say,
"Anybody want a peanut?" That's a good line from it.
Oh no, but anyway, that's what we're gonna watch next. So
so we'll be watching Princess Bride, and this has been Review Rewind. I'm Mike.
And I'm Krista.
And we won't see you later. It's
we
a podcast.
Still need to have
a
tagline. Now accepting suggestions, and
we're gonna put a contest up, and if we choose it, your prize is we will give you no credit.
If we choose it, I will bake you an item of your choice.
If you live within the Orange County, LA area.
If not, then I'll figure something else out. I will have Ray send you a person.
We will have a cameo video from our daughter to you.
Yes.
Who she is perfect.
Yes.
But yeah.
All right.
So help us out, and we'll see you next time. This
Bye.
is Dragged On. Bye.